Welcome to Last Match Standing, the holliest, jolliest podcast where we review, relive, and rank the 100 greatest wrestling matches of all time. As always, I'm Spencer.
I'm the Christmas creature.
And I'm Landon, because I couldn't think of a Christmassy thing to say, but...
And Dustin's here. Yeah, there you are.
Hi.
Hey, man.
Hey, Dustin, what's up?
I'm just here to laugh, I think.
Yeah, for those of you that don't... Oh, there will be a lot of laughing taking place in this episode, I believe.
Most likely.
Because there have been a lot of Christmas-related segments in WWE history.
Yeah. And if you celebrate Christmas, 'tis the season. Hope you're enjoying it. If you don't celebrate Christmas, hope you're enjoying whatever you're celebrating. That's fantastic.
Yeah, there's like 3,000 holidays.
Yeah,
so.
there's all sorts of them. So fun. Hope you're enjoying this time of the year. This is a really good time for us to kind of reflect and look back at some of these truly special moments in wrestling history. If we had to rank some of our favorite Christmas moments, I mean, I think just the fact that we get something called the Miracle on 34th Street fight, that gives me everything I need to know.
There's been, I think, 4 or 5 of them since 2011.
Yeah, it's just brilliant.
I was surprised you didn't mention the mistletoe on a pole match.
Oh, who was in that? That's a bummer. I didn't mention it.
The Bella Twins, Tamina, Alicia Fox, Caitlin, AJ Lee, Oksana, if you remember her.
Oh, I do remember Oksana. Was Oksana the one that was... What, Dustin?
I only know like 2 of those names.
Yeah. Was
The Bella
Oksana
Twins?
the one that was with Teddy Long for a while?
Yes, but she initially...
Oh, that was so cringy.
She married Goldust for a visa and then divorced him. And then she was Teddy Long's mistress because she had to keep her visa.
Oh, so they did the whole, like, marry a gay man for a visa kind of... Oh, God.
Yeah, but Goldust isn't gay.
No, I know, but that was the way that the WWE played the segment. It was a safe marriage because there was no way Goldust would be interested in her. So,
Wow.
Also, Natalia and Rosa Mendez, because 2011 was a fantastic year for wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, is it 2011? What year? What WrestleMania was that year? Is this the year of the
27.
WrestleMania 27?
oh.
That was the year that The Miz main evented.
So just think that we are like WrestleMania 30, which is 3 years later, is when we get the Vicky Guerrero Diva Invitational. That is the pathetic squash in between Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, and the main event.
Yeah.
So it feels like that doesn't feel like all that long ago.
I know, right?
But we're still 5-ish years or so from women's wrestling really kind of getting back into what it
they
is
all fought in that match dressed as elves.
Of course they did.
Why not?
Of course they did. And I know that...
Are you saying WWE didn't respect women?
Basically. I mean,
This is the first time I'm hearing of this.
Are you new
shit
to
like
this?
is why Gail Kim quit the company.
Welcome to the show, Dustin.
That's so good.
I don't know if I can be affiliated with this podcast anymore.
Well, I know Landon, when we were talking about this show and talking about different Christmas moments, I know there was a match on the night that you're referring to that really is all about respect.
So if you
women.
remember if you remember the Raw on Christmas Eve 2001, there were several really great moments on that show.
Yeah.
And why don't we just take a trip down memory lane?
I'm ready.
I am so ready for this.
And look at what the Raw from Christmas Eve 2001 entailed. So let's just go down this card, huh? It starts off with Jerry Lawler being exciting, like really, really hyping up the eggnog match between Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson. Later in the
Now,
night.
is an eggnog match, does that mean you have to pour eggnog on your opponent so the sexual fantasies of the audience is
I'm
climaxed?
imagining like instead of mud in a kiddie pool, it's eggnog. And
You don't have to have it poured. You don't have to wait. They're already in it from start to finish.
That's not
That's
sexy.
efficient.
Like, eggnog is not sexy. Women eggnog is not sexy.
I really thought, knowing that this was WWE in 2001, that the two women were going to be sitting in business attire, drinking a nice cup of eggnog, sharing stories in the ring. I think that is what I expected.
That's what I
entertaining.
hoped for.
I want Asuka in full, like, poison mist paint in a business suit to sit down with, like, Natalia and just tell, like, oh, we've both been in this business for 15 years. I bet we've got some stories to tell. Put it on the network.
But there were some interesting things going on in this episode. The main event match was booked as Chris Jericho versus The Rock for the Undisputed Championship. And actually, The Rock goes out into his hometown crowd of Miami wearing a Miami Hurricanes jersey. And he goes through The Rock's what was it? It was a poem. Was it 12 Days of Christmas or the Rock's Night Before Christmas?
Yeah,
I remember this one now. And he rhymed everything with bitch.
It was excellent. It was excellent. Kurt Angle interrupts and says that Vince McMahon, that Kurt Angle has been a really good boy this year, and Vince McMahon has awarded him with a Christmas present, and that would be a Undisputed Championship match. And so the main event was actually Kurt Angle versus The Rock versus Chris Jericho, which, man, that had to be good.
That's an early Christmas present.
No kidding.
Opening match in the card was Rikishi versus Test.
Boring.
Not a whole lot of Christmassy thing going on there.
This is a test.
But, man, how great was Test? This is somebody we lost too soon.
Yeah, he was renowned as being a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Were
Were you guys both part of his throng of testicles?
Oh, absolutely, from day one.
Please don't ever say throng and testicles in the same sentence ever again.
Please do.
Well,
That's what the
Hogan
fans
has
were.
the Hulkamaniacs.
Yeah.
Jericho has the Jerichoholics.
Kane has the
Test-
Canaanites.
Yeah, Canaanites. Test has his testicles.
Oh, boy.
I love my testicles.
Moving on.
I love Stacy Keibler.
Also on this card,
We're not worthy of her.
also on this card was Rob Van Dam versus Lance Storm.
Ooh.
Sign me up.
I mean,
ECW
what a
2.0.
match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, the eggnog match between Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson.
It should have been eggnog on a pole. At least that would have been entertaining.
Eggnog on a pole.
Yeah.
It's like, if the first person to spill it loses.
I would watch that match.
But probably the most Christmassy segment on the whole show was Bubba Claus versus annual gift man Tajiri.
Yes.
And why was Tajiri annual gift man?
Because they don't celebrate Christmas in Japan.
I don't know. Is that
man.
true?
Okay,
I
which
think
sounds
they may.
creepier? Santa Claus coming down your chimney to give gifts, or annual gift man traveling to your house to give you presents?
I don't know. Annual gift man sounds like a nice guy.
Annual gift man sounds like
He's like the Dollar General knockoff.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, like it's the no name brand. Like they're trying to sell the the book. And
Did y'all ever hear the story
That's good.
of Tajiri? Like, I think it was after one of the tours right before he left the company. He had everybody top to bottom kayfabe that he did not speak English. And so there at the end of a tour, his contract's up. He stands up after a meeting and says, "Okay, everybody, I just want to let you know I've been very, very honored and privileged to wrestle with you all, and it's been a pleasure knowing you, but I'm going to go now, so goodbye." And everybody's like, "Holy shit, he speaks English." And the story I heard was that Paul Heyman apparently like blew a gasket going, "God damn it, I fucking knew it!" Because he had everybody convinced he didn't speak a word of English.
Yeah, and there is a segment on this episode where Ric Flair is throwing this huge Christmas party backstage, and we get this wonderful segment between Edge and Kane. And
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, and they start convincing Kane. He's like, "Oh, here, take this huge bottle of wine, just drink this. Oh, here, take this Christmas hat." So you get this Christmas Kane, which I think reminds me, wasn't there another moment in history where there was a Christmas Kane?
Yeah, Kane was the Christmas creature.
What was this?
His very first gimmick in wrestling. He came out as a Christmas tree monster with candy cane arms and legs.
Was this some kind of indie promotion? Or
No, it was in USWA.
there you go.
It was not indie. It's like,
He wrestled a full match as the Christmas creature.
yes, he wrestled Santa Claus.
Boy, I
Fucking love
I
wrestling.
love wrestling. Yeah. Man, I mean, just there's so many like candy cane jokes that I think we're missing out on in this moment.
Anytime you mention Edge and Kane, I just think of Paul Bearer getting pushed off of a stage in a wheelchair.
Was that? When was that?
Happened.
Paul Bearer?
2010.
Paul Bear in a wheel. Well, I thought that was
Zack Ryder
I
got
go
pushed
to
off.
No, that's 20. That's
Zach
2012.
Gowen. I go to Zach Gowen being pushed down.
No,
the
if
flight of
you
stairs.
both recall, in 2010,
Zach
the
Gowen,
Undertaker mysteriously vanished. He was found in a vegetative state, and then he returned. He assaulted the then World Heavyweight Champion Kane, and they had a Hell in a Cell match where Paul Bearer returned on the side of the dead man, but he betrayed the dead man for his son Kane.
I do remember the turn, yeah.
And the Undertaker disappeared again.
Which is the second time that happened.
And then Edge feuded with Kane, which culminated in him pushing Paul Bearer off of like a scaffold on a wheelchair.
Wait, is this when somebody puts Paul Bearer in a freezer?
Yes.
And then Kane goes to save him, but then just pushes it back in and kills him.
And locks like, no, my boy, no.
And that's actually the last time we see Paul Bearer on WWE TV.
Yeah,
is in the freezer. Is in the freezer. He's still in the freezer, guys. He's still in the freezer.
Well, technically, I mean,
I'm sorry. What did CM Punk say to Undertaker about his loss?
I'm sorry for your loss
In the freezer.
at WrestleMania.
He's not lost. We know where he is.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
I get some
Yeah.
wrestling
So the Christmas creature over there, Kane, right? So crazy. This episode of Raw that you're talking about, Lane, it had to be just pretty fun. It sounds like kind of wild. I mean, the eggnog thing obviously is ridiculous.
If you're looking for some wrestling-related Christmas content or Christmas-related wrestling content, either of the two,
Yeah.
the Christmas Eve Raw 2001 is on the network. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. I for one of my favorite trends here lately for Christmas themed, I guess, ideas that we've seen is the Miracle on 34th Street fight. I know I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I'm going to narrow in on just one. It was 2012, I think, and it was John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio. Now, I for one am no fan of Alberto Del Rio. Like, he drives me a little bit nuts.
I used to like him.
Yeah, I don't know what I just never. There was never anything about him that I found.
I mean, he's a scumbag. So.
Yeah, I just was like, you're the worst. But there was a reason they had to fight, right? There had to be a reason, and the show kicks off.
Was it because it was Christmas?
No.
Del Rio was in the middle of like a face turn at this point.
Yeah, it got put on hold.
Yeah,
Don't you love it when that happens?
Yeah. So basically, what happened is Santa Claus comes out at the start of Raw, and he's handing out gifts to guys in the front few rows, and he's throwing stuff in the crowd, and you're watching and you're like, man, he's taking a long time. like he's just giving out all sorts of stuff.
All of a sudden, a Bentley comes around the corner.
And Santa Claus gets hit by a car.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Santa Claus gets hit by a car.
And then I love this because Robert Rodriguez is like, oh no, what have you done?
Yeah.
And Del Rio's like, oh no, I ran over Santa. What are we gonna do? They go to commercial.
And then so you're getting updates on Santa throughout the night, right? And Paul, didn't they do like an EKG?
They did an EKG. It is beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. His heels start clicking together.
So that sets up our main event.
It's ridiculous.
Oh,
That's
fucking
stupid.
love wrestling.
It sets up our main event, John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio, because John Cena is defending Santa Claus's honor.
How dare you run over Santa Claus?
He's out to save Christmas, right? And so, with the stage set up and stuff around the ring, there's packages, boxes, and bags all over the place for these guys to use. And during their entrance, John Cena comes out and he's like, I'm ready to save Christmas, which is just so stupid. And Del Rio comes out, and Ricardo is still like crying.
These guys fucking crying
over the whole thing.
This is before he had the bucket too. He could just cry in the bucket.
Right. where the bucket where inevitably Del Rio would miss kicking Big Show's.
And if you watch the network, they edit it out.
Yeah, they do, which is...
I mean, it's one of the few times, please edit that because it's sad.
He kicked the Big Show's what?
So this was at Elimination Chamber. I was actually here in the arena for that. The finish of the match was Big Show was supposed to hold the bucket, and Del Rio was going to come kick the bucket into Big
He
Show's
was going to
head.
step up Enziguri, but he missed.
But because
Big
he
Show
jumped,
had to pretend that didn't happen. He's still standing there going, Ricardo, I'm going to get you. Ricardo, I'm still going to get you. Bam.
Yeah, because the first time Del Rio jumps off the
missed.
rope and just face plants on the mat because he missed kicking Big Show.
And the Big Show played it off like, Ricardo, I'm really going to get you now,
right.
dude. He hits it, and when he hits it, it looks beautiful.
Hey, speaking of, actually, in that December 24th, 2001 episode of Raw, the Big Show does a Hulk Hogan impression that is spot on.
Oh, this is the first time he did that. And Backlash 2000, he wrestled an entire match as the Showster.
No,
my
he
God.
did not.
Yes, he did.
Oh, I have to see this.
He
How have I
came
not seen
out
this?
to Real American in his banana hip.
Backlash 2000?
Let me tell you something, brother. I've been to the Shadow Valley of Death, dude. I got the largest pythons in the world. What are you going to do when the Showster runs wild on you?
Let me.
He does the immortal leg drop, dude.
I feel like very much like Inception. This is very meta. Like Paul doing an impression of Big Show doing an impression of Hulk Hogan.
Oh no, he does the immortal leg drop and Kurt Angle
He's getting
kicks
too
out.
meta.
Oh no, he kicks out of the immortal leg drop and JR. Oh, no one ever kicks out of the leg drop, brother. Somewhere I'm like, this is like sensitive Bash at the Beach. I quit because Vince Russo called me bald Hogan. You know he was pissed off about that.
So we're having this Miracle on 34th Street fight. And they're opening, John Cena's opening gifts to get chairs and kendo sticks and things like that. And
I don't know. They get Singapore candy canes.
that's right.
Oh my
You're
God.
absolutely right. I forgot about that part. You're absolutely right. But they end up heading like towards the top of the stage, and Del Rio asks, like Ricardo to get him a gift to
Ricardo,
open.
get the best.
And he opens it. And he pulls out a teddy bear. John Cena's been getting all these weapons, and Del Rio gets a teddy
he
bear.
throws the teddy bear at Cena and he sells it.
Yeah.
Oh my
He sells
God.
it. And I'm like, fucking love wrestling.
There's a pie at some point where Del Rio Ricardo gets hit with it because
he throws the pie at Cena and then he hits Ricardo with it.
Yeah. Ultimately, the way this match winds down is the main event of Raw. I think this Raw was on Christmas Day.
It was. I remember watching this with my roommate, and then my parents, for some reason, watched this with me, and I had to.
That's a
explain.
Christmas tradition, right there.
There's nothing better than explaining why my parents should not like dog on wrestling because it's awesome, and then I have to explain this match to them.
Oh gosh. So
you see, that pie was probably loaded with a brick.
yeah. Make it make sense.
There's pop rocks in there, so that really hurts.
Yes.
Ultimately, the way this match ends is that Del Rio sort of has the advantage, and when he's closing in on like the armbar and stuff, Santa Claus makes a miraculous recovery, runs down the ramp, and gives Del Rio the mandible claw.
I did not realize it was Mick Foley until he did the mandible claw.
I remember this reveal.
Do you remember this phase of Mick Foley's life where he like went to Santa
like,
school and like legitimately was a Santa Claus
He
for a
had,
while?
like, bleached his hair and his beard like fucking white. Like he was unrecognizable. Like even his eyebrows were white.
Yeah, it's really one of my favorite things about Mick Foley that he's ever done. So I think when we talk about like the three faces of Foley, we really should add that fourth one for Santa. But Santa Claus, just to remind you, Santa Claus gives the mandible claw to Alberto Del Rio, who then turns around into I almost called it an FU, but it's an attitude adjustment.
That's still the
and,
FU. They called it the FU at Mania this year.
You talking about
They
you were about
did.
to get the
They did.
FU?
They
Was
did.
that this year?
Yeah, well, because he came out as thugonomics. The FU, now called the attitude adjustment.
I'm talking about the
They
one where
called
he
it the
came into the
FU.
ring and started rapping. Was that this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was kind of
that's-
cool because that was like old John Cena.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
the best thing
Okay,
ever.
Yeah.
And so his move used to be called the FU as a knock on Brock Lesnar's F5.
Right.
And the STF was the STFU.
Get it? It's pretty funny.
I do get it. Very clever.
But John Cena saves Christmas in what is arguably the biggest match of his entire career.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. Speaking of big matches involving Santa Claus, are y'all aware that in 1999, Mankind fought not one, not two, but three Santa Claus at a boiler room brawl?
Are you referring
God.
to the Main Street Posse?
Yep.
Wow. So
all dressed as Santa Claus.
so Santa Claus, who would become Santa Claus, fights three
Well,
Santa
Mick
Clauses?
Foley dressed as Santa Claus fought the Mean Street Posse dressed as Santa Claus, refereed by Teddy Long as Santa Claus.
Yes! Is this not the plot of the Santa Claus 2 or 3?
I don't know, but everybody was dressed like Santa. Is the best thing ever.
Is Tim Allen in here?
Probably. Everyone, look, the New Age Outlaws of Triple H do run-ins dressed as Santa Claus. At one point, there are 7 Santa Clauses on one screen.
Oh, this is pinnacle. This is the best. Who wins that match, Paul?
Oh, the Main Street Posse win.
I mean, it's 3-on-1. I mean,
Event-
three
event-
Santas
I
are
was
better
hoping
than
that
one.
Santa
Eventually,
was
the
gonna
New
win.
Age Outlaws and Triple H come in. It's like 6-on-1. But they're all dressed like Santa Claus.
Man, there has been just an extensive amount of Christmas-themed moments in wrestling, and I'm grateful that we were able to relive a couple of them just now together.
Yeah, I mean, don't you remember the wonderful Jingle Bells match on featuring the cast of Total Divas?
Oh, I am
Wasn't
disappointed.
2013 a great year for wrestling?
That is unfortunate.
Oh my
Gosh. Well, listen. If we had to rank those kind of three that we really talked about, what do you think is number one there? It's hard to beat the Santa Mean Street Posse. I think that's tough to beat.
I don't know, man. In 2013, we did get Good Santa versus Bad Santa.
I forgot about that.
Oh, it was what
Mark
was that?
Henry and Damian Sandow. And if Damian Sandow won, Christmas would be canceled. Mark Henry, I'm Good Santa. And Mark Henry just kills him in 2 minutes.
I'd completely forgotten about that. More likely, I blocked it from my memory.
Yeah, we've had a couple other Miracle on 34th Street fights. One of them, I think David Otunga was in.
David Otunga and Randy Orton were in one.
Yeah, I think Elias and Bobby Lashley had the most recent.
Oh my
maybe.
God, you're right. I think my favorite one was Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
That one had some really interesting segments. I think that one brought back the whole weapons hidden in boxes trope, which is, it's fun. You got a little present. What is it? Oh, it's a sledgehammer.
Yeah. I think that's fun. I think that's really fun. And if you're gonna, how do you make Christmas wrestling? That's how. I mean, that's pretty fun.
No one can ever forget Christmas Claus versus JBL Kringle.
JBL Kringle.
It's a tribute to the troops in 2005.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
his
fun
fatigue Santa outfit versus it was Foley, but he looked like Santa Claus, but it's I'm sorry, Foley Claus versus JBL Kringle.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of of those sort of.
And that match was officiated by Jonathan Coachman,
the coach.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. There's a lot of those tribute to the troops moments that are kind of fun with Santa. You think of Stone Cold in the
he came
Santa
out
outfit.
and he was throwing beer out.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. But ultimately, it's just kind of a fun time and one that is almost always just completely absurd.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's Christmas. It's the WWE. They're going to do something crazy. I mean, speaking of crazy, remember in 97 whenever Stone Cold Steve Austin he rocked Chris's Kringle. He stunned Santa Claus, and then Jim Cornette, he just rocked Chris's Kringle. One of the few times he didn't shout out something racist on commentary.
Hey, there it is. That's fantastic. Yeah, you're right. Very few times that happens.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever actually been to Ethiopia, so.
Well, guys, I hope you get everything you want for Christmas.
Sorry, we just got blocked on Twitter, guys. I just read.
I hope you each experience a Miracle on 34th Street fight at some point over the holiday. I hope that you get a pie in the face almost as hard as Paul hit Landon.
Join us. Yeah. Oh, my God. Why did you do that so hard? Gee.
I didn't realize it was that hard. I mean, when I watched this slow motion, oh, no, I think I killed him.
Wait, when did this happen?
Oh, you totally missed this?
Yes.
If you're like Dustin and you don't know what we're talking about.
If you don't listen to our show.
We did a Thanksgiving.
Like our producer doesn't.
We did a Thanksgiving trivia episode, and somehow I won.
This goes on the internet?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. So the basically that's how Paul won the last match standing championship belt.
Well,
yes, I remember that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and as I recall, I believe Meltzer gave it 3 out of 5 stars.
I knew about that. I didn't remember the pie.
Well, the pie happened. We put that on YouTube. It's the only video we have on YouTube right now.
I will tell you
there
though,
will be more to come.
That was a delicious.
People can make YouTube suggestions.
Apple
that would be
cinnamon
dope.
pie. Oh yeah. If you wanna suggest punishments for Paul to receive after he loses the belt, that would be great.
We should start doing watch-alongs on YouTube. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
Every time Dustin uploads an episode to Patreon and the audio doesn't work, pie in the face.
That only happened twice.
That's 2 pies already. We're in the bank.
So yeah, definitely reach out with us about reach out to us about any kind of punishments you would like Paul to receive the next time. But also, please let us know your favorite Christmas moment in WWE history, wrestling history, or your personal life, whatever. We'll listen to it all and we'll share it on our next episode following Christmas. And I guess will that episode actually be in 2020?
No, because I think this Christmas episode, will drop December 23rd, which makes the following episode December 30th.
Gotcha.
So we have one more episode in 2019 in this decade.
Are you telling me we're going to drop an episode the same day as Todd and Aaron's 2019 awards?
We're going to drop an episode the same day as Tiger Woods' birthday.
Oh, wow. Any prostitutes this year?
Bro. Slow down.
I'm sorry. I get very cranky this time of year.
Loved. Yeah, definitely let us know your Christmas traditions if they have to do with wrestling. That's really fun. Apparently, Paul's is to get cranky. I don't know, but I think the best part of Christmas is Christmas
Shove the
traditions.
mistletoe up your ass.
I think the best part of Christmas are the traditions, and so for us to kind of go through all these WWE Christmas traditions was kind of a lot of fun. And we'd love to hear any of the feedback that you have. But whether you're celebrating or not, we do hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful end of the year and holiday break. We're in Louisiana, so there will not be any remnants of snow at all. There will be nothing. But hopefully it's a white Christmas where you are, because that's a fun time. But we will see you December 30th with our episode. I guess it'll be episode 2 of season 2.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, and that one's going to be
The New Day versus the Usos inside Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, voted on by all of you. So thank you so much for voting on that. And we have some really excellent matches that we're reviewing coming up in the first few weeks of 2020 as well. So we're excited about that.
Oh, couldn't be more excited. There's some real gems, and I think there's going to be some that people might not expect, but they'll be really pleased.
Oh
with
yeah, we've got some really
what happens.
interesting submissions recently that I'm very excited to talk about.
Yeah, so you'll get New Day, Usos to end 2019, and then we'll be back in 2020 with some of the greatest wrestling matches of all time. So Merry Christmas, and if you don't celebrate, then Merry December 25th.
Hey,
and
that's what Happy
any other
Holidays
days
is
you
for.
have.
It covers all the
exactly.
bases.
Yeah. Until December 30th, I'm Spencer.
I'm Paul.
I'm Landon.
And
I'm
this...
Dustin.
Oh,
Spencer!
I'm so not used to being right there. I'm so sorry. Should we try it again?
Yes.
As always, I'm Spencer.
I'm Paul.
I'm Landon.
And I'm Dustin.
And this is Last Match Standing.